Suzanne Reed, and I am the Chief Growth and Marketing Officer at LBMC.
And I'm Kristen Petrel. I am a Senior Marketing Manager at LBMC.
When I met Adam, I actually met him at a growth conference in New York City, and he was talking to some law firms and explaining to them the value of Introhive, really around the data cleansing and kind of the data aggregation, if you will, and the intelligence aspect of it. And so of course that piqued my ears, because at the time we had just completed our CRM integration of the data from about 4 systems into it, and we had a mess. And when I heard him talking about the data cleansing, that piqued my ears. And then of course he went to the next level and said, and we also add in some relationship intelligence information. So our concerns, problems, issues at that point were we have a lot of information that doesn't make any sense, it's not getting cleaned, and we weren't sure how to go kind of to the next level. I think when we first signed up with Introhive and kind of turned it on and kind of went into what we did an initial pilot phase with our kind of what we call super users, kind of first adopters, just to try it out, make sure we understood everything. And we saw an immediate lift from that group, who was obviously your ones who were going to use it first, but what they saw was their time, which they value greatly, went significantly down as far as updating of contacts, entering contacts, but then also the value added of having information passed to them, both about the company and about their contacts, created obviously some new insights, some excitement around somebody's giving me information instead of me having to go get it, and saving them time, which at that point, that seemed like the perfect nirvana, and was really the only expectation at that point. Introhive has obviously gone on to be much bigger than that for us, but it was an immediate lift day one. Introhive has grown with us in many ways. I think the first way is it has given us a model and a use case to show the value of using technology for the day-to-day pieces that many don't enjoy doing and don't want to do, but are necessary, such as contact creation, account creation, data cleansing, the appending of additional data that's useful in that customer intelligence, all the way to helping us look more poised, educated, and informed as we go to talk to new prospects, or as we go to meet with current clients, just to kind of give us that little bit of edge. I think it's then also from a true operational perspective and kind of a data mining perspective, it's given us great insight as we try to cull our clients to figure out the commonalities, patterns, trending, and even for our client fit and focus, as we talk about who are those clients that we want to spend time with, who are those clients we are spending time with, and are those the same, and where do we have opportunities to improve.
I was part of the Power User Focus group when that got kicked off, and then now, as we sit today, like I said in there, I use it almost every day. To me, it is such powerful data to be able to look in when we're doing market research, when we're trying to identify, cross-sell opportunities. Perfect example is we had a new service line person come in a few years ago, and he kind of had a group of about 5 targets that he was looking for. So I was able to go into CRM, go into Introhive, and tell him who internally had the best relationships, and facilitate some internal meetings so that he could get in front of that client. So to me, it's a no-brainer, and it's such useful data as opposed to the guessing game or the gut feel, right? We're constantly challenging the gut feel at LBMC, so it's nice to have that as an additional data point. What we're going to do as we go to roll out the campaign to really look for some of those cross-sell opportunities is meet individually with those shareholders, go into CRM, go into Introhive, make sure that we have the correct data in there, and then really look for opportunities to not only strengthen the depth of our relationship with them, but also to become wider with them from a service line standpoint. I think it's going to be really impactful as, we just sit down with them and really get into the data and pull it up and show them. I think it's going to have significant impact. So, yeah.
And the impact, I think that's something we talked about, and we've not talked as much about the revenue impact. So if you think about the revenue impact, the top 50 for us make up 10% of our revenue of the firm, and that's just 50 clients. So you think about that, and by adding just one service onto those, if you think about an average client project being around 50,000, and that might be low for this group, that could be significant dollars from minimal effort, as well as the retention aspect of keeping a current client. So the revenue impact on that is exponentially larger than many of our other projects.
And not only that, I think too, the tertiary, benefit we're going to see is getting some of our younger folks involved in those relationships. And that only helps culture and employee retention, and makes people really want to be part of the LBMC family. So it's, like I said, it's a win-win-win for everyone.
We're looking at the top 50 or the top 200, doesn't really matter what you look at, but when you look to the shareholders that are kind of leading that, if you will, and the lack of others involved on some of those, that's where we realize we've got to expand and deepen those relationships outside of that one individual for risk, from a risk mitigation perspective, but also from a knowledge perspective for the seamless transition for our clients. But we also saw that we were really only very siloed in one discipline. So maybe we know, maybe it's the CFO, but maybe it's really just the VP of accounting, and maybe we don't know the CFO. And maybe we don't even know the CEO or the COO or the CISO. And so what we saw was we had some real opportunities to get broader and deeper for that succession, so that as that happens, we know that it's going to be a little smoother, but also from a true, I know we don't say share of wallet in this industry, but it really is that share of wallet, so that you have a better chance at retention, and that you're not losing those clients because of a relationship that existed with one-on-one.
And I think too, they just get better client service, right? If they don't what the lonely client they just talked about in there. So, they feel more loved if they have more people paying attention to them, right? So.
I'm excited and love that Introhive listened to me as a client and heard that there was a desire to get with others doing what we're doing, and to hear where we're not doing something that maybe another client is doing. But the client collaboration to me is key, especially with the partner being here. And it's something that I've enjoyed with just very few vendors in the past. And so excited to see the collaboration, the excitement, the renewed energy around using a tool, how are we not using it that we could, but also creating the relationships with others that are in similar roles and having similar challenges for us to maybe collaborate to help each other with solving some of our issues. So very excited to be here. I've already said it 3 or 4 times, but I will say it again on camera that Introhive is my favorite vendor partner by far.
In addition to that, and I know Introhive does serve many industries, however, I think the professional services industry is very unique. And so I have enjoyed really talking to others. Everyone is at a different place in their journey, and it's so interesting to see the people that are ahead of you, the people that are behind you, and meet people that have similar pain points. And how you can help them and they can help you. And I just talked with Kathy from KPMG, and I'm like, it's not like yes, do we come up against them? Yes. But to me, this is everybody lay their weapons down. Let's all come together, and it's all lessons learned or best practices at this point. So
it's a little bit of affirmation. It's a little bit of counseling.
Yeah. Or you sit with somebody like Tom, who's like, "You guys do it the best," and you're like, "Wow, thanks." Okay, it helps you. It reiterates what you're doing, and that there are others watching what you do, which is interesting. I will say, every time I have asked Sarah for something that I want, I'm like, "Can we do this?" And she's like, "Yes, let me talk to Introhive." And the next thing I know, we have it. So I know, she enjoys the relationship because I ask her for a lot, and she seems to be able to deliver quite a bit with just the relationship. And then I forget who said it, but LBMC and Introhive are very compatible, I feel, and are very similar in a lot of ways. And culture and just have good back and forth.
Well, I would say, we enjoy working with Introhive for many reasons, but I do think it's the people, and I would even expound upon that to say it is all levels, because the one thing I hear day in and day out is, if I'm talking to Kristen or I'm talking to Sarah, my team, the team, LBMC in general, there's such a positive vibe when we mention Introhive. And I think that's a huge testimony to Introhive doing what they say they're going to do, their services that they provide, their team that's supporting it, just the entire network that Introhive has built. I think that's huge. And then obviously the tool works and it's value added. And I mean, while that should probably be my first thing I say, the reality is there are probably a lot of tools that, may do what they say they're going to do and work. But then you add on a team that supports it and that has, from bottom up and top down, has the team that everyone on the team enjoys working with. There's not many of those around.